morning, everyone. I'm Marg with Creative Stamping with Marg. Today we are going to be making a triple panel card with a bit of a twist, and it is a Christmas themed card. So we'll get started on that, and I have lots of Stampin' Up! News down on my desk. So let's have a look. Okay, there we go. You can see I've got some Christmas cards on my desk already. This is my class. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my class that I'm running on Saturday. So if you're local to me and would like to join the class, I would need to know probably by today. So you'd have to email me, mrgorn@shaw.ca, or you can go to my website, margaretgorn.stampinup.net, and let me know if you'd like to join us. 4 cards and envelopes, and they're all Christmas themed, as you can see. A bit of a variety of everything: gold, silver, a traditional red and green one, and then a non-traditional card. So that's going on Saturday. Okay, one thing that I just remembered I didn't make a flyer for is it is free shipping days. October 22nd, which of course is today, to the 24th with Stampin' Up! So any order over $100 qualifies for free shipping. So make sure you check into that and get your wish list ready. It only runs till Friday. Okay, some of the other things that's going on with Stampin' Up! This craft class, which I've mentioned before, Traditions of Christmas. It's a live class that they're running. The cost is $41, I think. I don't have that written down here, but you can check it out on my website. It is October 23rd. Oh, that's tomorrow. So I guess if you wanted to join, you'd have to do that quickly. It is tomorrow, October 23rd at 2 p.m. And they are using that suite of products. But if you don't have that, you could use something else. And of course, the class, just gives you lots of ideas, tips and tricks, I'm sure. Okay. The other thing that Stampin' Up! Has for the first time ever, I think, is this 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. It is not typically Christmas. It makes a lot of other types of cards. The price is $136, and the code for that is 167335 if you wanted to order it. There is 12 opening doors. If you can see that, I'll bring it up a bit closer. It comes with a stamp set, which has 2 sheets of stamps, and everything in the box coordinates together. So really a great gift idea if you wanted to gift it to someone or gift it to yourself. Okay. The paper pumpkin this month for November, you need to subscribe before November the 10th, and it is called Wrapped in Cheer, and it is making 8 projects, it says, for each of 2 tag designs with 8 identical coordinating boxes. So if you can see that small picture there, you'll see that it's making up gift boxes. They say that they would hold a gift card or small treats. Your classic Stampin' spot in this kit will be Mossy Meadow, and obviously it's Christmas themed. I see the stamp that she's holding there says Merry Christmas. It looks like it has some either real red or cherry cobbler. I'm going to say cherry cobbler dots in it, and it looks like it's really, really cute. You can get a glimpse of some of the tags over here in the corner there, and then one up here. So it looks very cute. And the dies that go with the October, and this is the November, and then the December kit are the Abundant Joy dies. Has the word joy, which went with last month's kit. And then there's some leaves and a flower, it looks like, and a tag. So that's great. That is an add-on, $16.50 for that. And the code for that, the add-on dies, is 167855. And you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to get those dies. All right. And that, again, has to be subscribed by November the 10th. I also have the mini catalog still on my desk. If anyone is wanting to see that, this catalog runs till the end of December. Lots of great things in here. So if you need one of those, you can contact me. All right, let's get started on our card. I'm calling this a triple panel card with a bit of a twist. So I'm going to show you how I did this. I am using My designer series paper is Thoughtful Journey. You will need the Everyday Arches dies for this one. And I'll start with the big, this is the second largest die. So it goes there. You're going to need to choose a cardstock, and you need 3 of those cut out. The next, so the third largest die, this one, you need a coordinating color to go with your designer series paper. And you need 3 of those arches cut out. Now, your designer series paper, I am using 6x6 paper. So I have chosen the 4th largest arch because it is 3 inches wide. So on a 6-inch paper, you can get these 2 side by side to make your picture. And this is the one I chose. So there's my piece that goes side by side because it's going to be a continuous. And I cut it out of that. And then you need one the same size as your designer series paper, cut out of white or whatever you're going to write on. Okay, so lots of arches cut out. And I will tell you that out of your 8.5 by 11 piece, this is Misty Moonlight, and this is my background color. If you cut 3.5 inches by 11 first, and then you'll get your 3 arches out of the rest of the paper. And the reason I'm telling you that is because we need something, a 3.5 by 11 inch piece, and I've done some punching already, which I'll show you, and we need to score it. So if you cut that first, you're going to cut that out, then you will have room for your 3 dies out of the 1 sheet of paper. Okay? All right, so I just wanted to point that out. All right, so I have cut this piece, 3.5 by 11, and we needed to score it at 3 5/8 and 7 3/8. And then it's folded like a Z. And you can see it's not exactly folded. It has a little bit extra, and that's just the way it is, the only way I could get it to work. Okay, and I've cut, I'm going to say feet out of mine, and I've used the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. So this card is going to stand like this, and so it makes me think of a folding screen, a room divider screen. That's what it makes me think of, this card. So what I did is I just punched, put my punch in, just barely put it in there, and punched it. Now, I have to qualify this a little bit, because when we get to putting this card together, it has to fit in our envelope. So in order for it to fit in the envelope with the arch glued on it, it's going to be glued like this. I use my grid paper to make sure it's about 5.5 inches from top to bottom. So that tells me when I am punching, I'm going to say the feet out of my 3.5 inch paper, I laid it down and made sure that it didn't extend over 5.5 inches. So there's 5.5 right there. And I just slid my arch up to the edge here. So you can see when I punched my feet out of here that they just are at the bottom. So that's something you have to look at. I have used a retired punch on my sample card that I'll show you. And again, the same thing applies. You have to just make sure that you don't cut too far up. Okay, so that's the one thing. Now, cutting this or punching this, all I did for my first one is I just put it in my punch and centered it on this piece as best I could. I didn't measure it or anything, and just punched it. Then I folded it in half and punched again, using this as my guide so that they were the same. Because when my card is folded closed, I want these to line up. Okay, so I saved the last one. This is the last one. And you can either have it like this, or you can just open it. And there you can see my outline. So again, I'm going to just insert it in my punch. And I'm just going to line it up so that it's going to be the same. And I'm going to punch it out like that. Okay, so now all 3 of them are the same when it's folded flat, because this is the front of my card, this one here. Okay, let's get to putting this together. It's just a lot of die cutting, and then it's simple to put together. So, like I said, for your first one, when you go to glue these together, you want this to be, I like mine about 5.5. Our envelopes are 5 3/4, but because this has some bulk to it, you want to just give it a little leeway. So I put my base piece, I'm going to call that my base piece, down at 5.5. Okay, and then I'm going to lay this here and make sure the top of it only goes to my grid paper line there. And make sure it's straight going across here. Sometimes I move this a little bit so I can see the lines. And I'm going to glue it on. So let's get our glue out. We only want glue on this, right? Not all the way to the top. So I'm going to fold that back down. And I know it's just on this one piece, and it's quite close to my, what I'm calling my feet or whatever. And you'll also see that this edge they don't meet. So when I put my arch on, I'm going to line it up with the raw edge of this, not the fold. Okay, so put it back down at my 5.5. I'll just put it here like that. And make sure I've got this right side. You know how the dots, you've got a right and a wrong side for this. And then I want to just line it up with that raw edge and put it down like that, and make sure the top is not going over. So there, that's the first piece. Now, once you've got the first piece on, the rest is easy because you've got a template to work with. Okay, so there's that one. Open it up. I'm going to put the next one on. But when I put the next one on, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to line it up so that they look the same at the top there. Make sure that they're the same. Okay. And again, you're just going to, it's going to have a little edge here. And you got to make sure it's not on the fold here. So we'll just again put our glue just on our base piece here. And you know that it doesn't go right to the edges. And it doesn't go right to the bottom here. And then I'm just going to lay this on, and it should be a nice edge here. I just have to slide this down so I can see, and line it up with our other one, just so they look the same, just like that. Okay, because when the card is closed, we want all these arches to be uniform. Okay, so there's that one. Then we're going to do our last one. And for this one, of course, you can close it this way. I just put it this way and I fold it back, which is not the right way. It's not the way it's going to go, but that's all right. We're going to put our glue on our base piece again. Just like that. Put a little more down there. And then I'm going to fold it backwards. Like that. And put my piece on. And again, I'm lining it up with the one previously, making sure that they're straight. Then it looks like that. And there we go. Looks good. So they're all lined up. Okay. And there's our Z-fold card, or three-panel card, tri-panel card. All right, now we can put together our other arches. So we have 3, and this is Petunia Pop. And we want, this was the way my piece of paper was, so I'm going to glue them like that. And then this onto here. Now, I don't have anything to stamp on the inside yet, but we'll get to that. So I'm just going to glue these. And this really works well with your scenery paper that we have. And this Thoughtful Journey paper is so gorgeous that it is a beautiful one to use for this. But we had Meandering Meadows was a different one. I think that's the one I used on my sample card. And again, the panels sort of go together, these two panels. I've also used Beautiful Gallery with a trifold card like this, 3-panel card, whatever you want to call it. Okay, whoops, I got that one a little crooked. Okay, I want to make sure they're the same on there. Okay, and I'll just wait on this one for a second. So on the front is your first piece, and then this is the matching piece. It's going to go here. Not that the person necessarily can tell that they went together, but you know they did. Okay, so I'm just going to glue them on. And these cards are pretty thick. This might require extra postage, or it would be a good card to hand deliver, I think, because it is a bit thicker. I do love it though. It's just something different, very elegant. I've made some sympathy cards out of this, but I decided this one, you know, these trees in this one made me think of Christmas. I don't know, not that it is necessarily Christmas, but paper. It's not Christmas paper, but it just made me think of that with the spruce trees. So there's that, like that. And then this one will go in next. I have to think about what I want to put on there for stamping before I glue it on. And I did learn a bit of a trick. If you are undecided about your stamping, as I am quite often about the inside, and I kind of want to wait to see who I'm going to send it to, someone suggested that you use your seal. I wouldn't use the Seal Plus, but the seal. And on the back of this, you just put a tiny little piece, just a tiny little bit of, I don't even know if you can see that glue. And you can anchor it in here so it doesn't get lost, and put it on like that, and it'll stay there till you're deciding to do your greeting. So there's our card. Now, I want to take it off because I want to stamp a greeting now. What they suggest, again, it's quite loose. Twist it just like that. It doesn't wreck your paper. Doesn't wreck your paper. And then you can glue it down again when you're done your stamping. So I think I'm just going to leave that in there like that with my stamp and seal on there. And that basically is the finished card. So isn't it pretty? And it stands like this. I think it would look so good. Like it's the kind of card you want to put on your mantle. All right, I did do some stamping, and I used the Joyful Tidings stamp set. It's this one right here from the mini catalog. And I stamped on a piece of the leftover Designer Series paper. When I cut my arches, this was left at the top with this sort of sky on it. So I thought I'm going to do my stamping on that. So you can see where I used my Nested Essential die, and I cut this out. Tidings of Joy this Christmas season. And I put 2 dimensionals on the back, and I'm just going to stick it up in the sky here on the front of my card. Now you could put it down below here. I just thought I might just stick it right up here. And I think, I don't want it centered. I think that kind of, I don't like that look, but put it down. And I liked that it's this sort of the same colors. All right, so that's my card for today. And all those little tips and tricks I gave you, I hope help. And I pulled some rhinestones out because this is a very, using scenic paper, you don't want to cover a bunch of things up. And I thought it was very pretty. I didn't want ribbon or anything on it. You could put ribbon on this card. Before I put this layer down, this Petunia Poplar, I could have had some ribbon around there. That would have looked nice, but I did not. So I'm going to put some rhinestones on here, and I think I might use the medium and 2 smalls. And I think I'm going to just put them like this. And again, you could put rhinestones on the next layer when you open the card up. But I think that looks good. All right, so there's our card. Clean this off here, sorry. There's our card for today. Triple panel card. It sort of looks like a screen, and it stands like that. You can see how fat it is. It is quite fat. So for mailing, it does fit in the envelope, of course, but for mailing, it would, I think it might require some extra postage because it is quite fat. All right, so there's that one. and I will share with you my sample, which I don't have any greeting on this one. I thought this made a really nice card. This one's done on garden green, and this I think was the Meandering Meadows paper, but there's the paper. You can see how it is the same going across. I don't have a greeting on this one at all, and you can see I did the same thing with my white paper. And again, I used a retired punch, a little more ornate punch to do this one with. And it stands like that. So there's our 2 cards for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I think it's something different, and it is, like I said, mantle worthy. Be a nice one to stand on your mantle or to display. So if you enjoyed that, I sure appreciate your thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any Wednesday videos. And you can see now that I'm into the Christmas card mode, we might be doing more of them. It is that season, of course. Remember, the free shipping is only till Friday, so on orders of $100 or more. I didn't pull the join special. Just let me get that flyer. Another thing to mention, for the month of October, you can join my Stamping Up. And for $48, you only pay $48, you can choose $165 worth of product. Any product. Online store, last chance items, mini catalog items, annual catalog items. All of those things. And there is actually some online items that are on pre-order. They don't release to the general public until November. But if you're joining, you get to peek at those. And that's one of the benefits of being joining Stamping Up, is that you get to peek it ahead of the things that are coming before the customers get a look at them. The other join special is spend $135 and you can choose $252 worth of product. So if you have a big wish list, that's a great one too. Both are stupendous. Never see that as low again, I'm sure, for a while. So if you're thinking about, you just want to be a discount shopper, you get a percentage off on your subsequent orders after you've ordered your initial order. When you do order this for $48, there's no shipping, no GST. You do get some catalogs, some business things, but you don't have to use them, of course. And you get, like I say, a percentage off your subsequent orders. So worth thinking about if you have a wish list. All right. I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see you next week.